Welcome to Football Fans Canada. My name is Adewale Ajayi, and of course, today the big boys are back. We are back to discuss all the big matches coming up this weekend in the English Premier League, the German Bundesliga, the Spanish La Liga, and of course, we'll also be looking at the Italian Serie A. There are some wonderful matches coming up. You want to imagine the Italian Serie A, AS Roma taking on Inter Milan, of course. That is a big debacle. And of course, you also know that in the English Premier League, it's going to be Liverpool versus Chelsea. Of course, like I said, all the big boys are in the house. And I'll quickly want to say welcome to my guys. Alpha, how are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Liverpool, Chelsea. That's going to be a big one.
It's going to be a big one on Sunday. Super Sunday.
Super Sunday. And of course, I have in Sikak, also in the house. Kaka, Arsenal is going to Bournemouth.
I think it's going to be a one-sided game if we have everyone fit, because there's a bit scare within Saka not being fit as well as Havertz. But if they're both fit, it's going to be a one-sided game.
Well, Manchester United, Erik ten Hag has not been sacked. He's still the coach of the team, and of course, this weekend you guys will be playing against Brentford. This match could get him sacked. Or what do you think?
I don't know what to think anymore. Him not getting sacked, I have no idea. I have no idea what this owners, what their decision making is. So the reason behind why he's still on the job, I don't understand. I'll be honest with you. I don't think this weekend is going to get him sacked. I don't think if he loses the next 3 games, I don't think he's going to get sacked. I have no idea what's going on with the club. We just taking one game at a time right now at this point.
So before we go to the tick of the EPL, and of course before we talk the fixtures coming up this weekend, let's quickly look at a few matches that were played in Europe and of course in Africa. Talking about the qualifiers, we're looking at the matches that were played in European competition, European qualifiers, and of course some of those matches that were played in Africa. Let's come back home quickly.
Yep.
Nigeria went to Libya. The Super Eagles were supposed to play against the Libyan national team. And of course, it got to a point, those boys landed in Libya. The plane was supposed to land at the Benghazi International Airport, but was diverted to a local airport. What do you think happened there? And of course, what do you think is happening in Libya?
It was actually a shit show. It was unfortunate. It showed to the whole world a very bad image for African football.
Yeah.
Because it affected everybody, and the power of social media is very key. Because I want to give kudos to Nigerian captain, Trustekong, for making the video to go viral. Because it was so unfortunate that the Libyan authorities and their contingent was so, very harsh on Nigerian counterparts. Why? Because I don't see reason why they diverted that, aircraft to another, city, because the match is meant to happen in Benghazi. So that's number one. Number two, they were trying to justify their reasons why, because they said they didn't have a good hospitality when they came to Uyo in the first leg 1-0, that they landed in Port Harcourt instead of Uyo. But overall, the whole investigation, what we heard is that it was actually intentional. They want to weaken the morale of the Super Eagles, and they want to win at all costs. So we are waiting on CAF to make a decision. Maybe there's going to actually be a replay, or they'll forfeit the 3 points. But that was a good call again by Trustekong, by saying we ain't going to play that game. And as of today, all the players are reporting to duty in their various clubs. Olaino has reported to Nottingham Forest. Wilfred Ndidi is right back at Leicester City.
So Kaka, you are a football referee. You understand the gimmicks. You understand what comes into play when this whole things happen. And of course, you look at what has happened. What do you think is going to be the best decision from CAF under this situation?
I think I'd rather speak not as a referee, because if this directly does not affect the referee world, it directly affects as a player. As a former player, as an ex-player, as ex-professional, this things like this, we call it the mind games, we call it dark arts. So recently named the dark art. We've experienced it before, where we've left us and not giving us a hotel Like, let us check into our hotel room where we sat into the buses and then we had cramps on our legs. And then when you get into play, you can't give everything.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't give 90%.
Yeah.
You can't give 100% of what. So, and then when you're cramped up like that, you're prone to injuries and things like that. So I think CAF has to take a proper look at if Libya said they experienced something similar. Why didn't you guys report it?
Yeah.
So
there was no evidence.
It wasn't reported. And they showed some videos of somewhat, and then for a couple of hours compared to what you do in a 16-hour, 13 hours to 16 hours.
Yeah.
So I think CAF will take a proper look at this and then be able to mitigate it by sense putting a very steep sanction, because this would be a warning to all the countries.
Other countries, yeah.
So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, Nathaniel. I discovered while reading from all guys were posting on social media, I discovered that you were so pissed off by the situation. The Super Eagles of Nigeria. Is it a game that if we had gone to play in Libya, was there any chance we were going to lose that match, or you felt that the decision to boycott the match perhaps was just the right one for us? Because as it stands, whether we like it or not, I mean, whether they like it or not, CAF might just favor us in this decision.
Honestly, I was very disappointed, with how it all played out, because, like you said, it was just all mind games. They were, because there's no logical reason to why you have the plane, land in a different city to where they're playing. It made no sense. It's like if Chelsea or are playing Bayern Munich, you send them to you send the plane to Frankfurt instead of München. Makes no sense, and they're playing, in a different city. So it just didn't make any sense to me. And personally, I don't think Libya would have won the game, because when you talk about African football, the pride of African football, you talk of Nigeria, talk of Ghana, Ivory Coast, South Africa,
But Ghana is almost out.
No, I know. I'm talking of, based on history, and because they're the farthest nation I've ever gone in the World Cup. So when you talk about history,
Morocco now.
So Morocco to Egypt, So Libya is, no disrespect to the country, it's a no-name country when it comes to football. I don't think they would have beaten Nigeria at all. But for what they did, like he explained, cramps and all this, tiredness, it affects the player's performance on the pitch. But yeah, I just hope the association able to make a good decision and penalize Libya.
Well, yours sincerely, Adewale Ajayi is a man who has traveled with the national team over the years. Before I moved down to Canada, I was the media officer of the Under-20 national team of Nigeria. And of course, I've also traveled with Super Eagles to over 50 countries of the world. So I know the gimmicks, I know the game. I know what is involved in situations like this. And of course, I'm also a match commissioner. So I understand what the Libyans were trying to play. And of course, I also know that the Libyans actually landed in Port Harcourt instead of them to land in Uyo. Now, the North Africans, this is how they go about their game. They are so intelligent in playing the dirty game outside the field of play. And of course, they frustrate you outside, and on the field of play, they will also frustrate you. But again, it's football. We're expecting that CAF will be able to take a decision on this, and eventually we hope that this decision will favor Nigeria and the Super Eagles. But there's something I must say. We have majority of North Africans on the CAF seat. And of course, when these kind of decisions come to the table, even those that are on the side of the Nigerian national team, those that are supporting us, will be very careful in speaking their mind, because they know the implication. Elections are just by the doorstep. And if they support Nigeria in situations like this, they might also lose their votes when the election comes up. So these calculations are all there. We know these calculations, but we just hope for the best. And of course, the NFF too understand what is happening right now. So quickly, England got a new coach, and the name of the coach is Coach Chelsea.
Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel, yeah. He just left Bayern Munich.
The thing is, I just been really going viral on social media that some English fans do not like him because of his passport. Right? He's German. So some people were saying, I saw a meme today that said, Southgate was bad, but it was good that he was still English. So, there's a lot of things going on. They forget about that they've not won anything since 1966. Right? And then there's a coach here that has a proven record of winning things. Yes, in his last two seasons, last two jobs, like Chelsea and Bayern Munich, it wasn't too expected, but he has a track record. He has done it before, and he can still do it again, right? And then he has worked with some of these English players as well that he has in the team over in Chelsea. So he probably could be able to replicate such feat that he had before. So I don't see anything wrong with Tuchel taking over. I know their dream man was Pep Guardiola, but they couldn't. With the FA couldn't wait for him anymore because Guardiola was so indecisive whether he's going to be still with Man City, because apparently Guardiola has not closed the door to I'm going to sign a new contract in Man City. Neither has he said I'm leaving. Do you understand? So it's wide open. I'm sure if Guardiola keeps himself available right now.
So let me come to you. I know you want to come in now. Before you go to the issue, I'm going to ask you. England is a superpower in world football. With the reputation of England as a football playing nation, should they look outside for a coach?
To be honest, yes, because they don't produce good coaches. Please, can anyone tell me the last time they produced a good coach?
Mm-hmm.
even the English Premier League.
Yeah, they don't have good coaches.
They don't produce good coaches. So, okay, Eddie Howe, Graham Potter, but these guys are not, like you mentioned, Thomas Tuchel or, Guardiola or Sir Alex Ferguson. It wasn't even English, it was Scottish, So they don't really produce good English coaches. But Lee Carsley, actually, I love the way I love the direction to which he was going, with the team.
But he wasn't terrible.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, I don't know why he didn't. I believe if he said he wanted a job, he would have gotten it. But I feel like the way, just looking at the way he responded during the press conference, how he spoke, he just didn't want to deal with the egos, when it comes to the English, the players who aren't even established players. They just have massive egos, big social media following, and the names of these players. Like, if Jude Bellingham doesn't work in a team, he doesn't have to be there. But because he plays for Real Madrid, there's going to be pressure from the media, from fans, asking why he's not playing. Like they said, Pep Guardiola, they should be careful what they wish for, because if Pep goes in there are players who wouldn't even make the team. Bellingham is one of them, because he's not a Pep player. And when you talk about Pep, he's all about players who are very technical, intelligent on the ball. Bellingham is not one of those players.
I beg to differ. Bellingham, yes.
You can beg to differ based on what I've seen. Based on what I've seen, I've watched him play.
But do England as a country have players that have the quality to win a Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, so yes. And the reason I love that decision made by the FA to hire Thomas Tuchel. Why? Because he's a serial winner. There's no club since PSG to Chelsea to Bayern. He still won the league in Bayern, despite all the issues. And the issues with Bayern is because he's a chairman. They say people don't value you in your home, that kind of thing. So, amongst the, I think 7 coaches interviewed for their position, and Eddie Howe and Graham Potter were English, right? If you compare both of them to Thomas Tuchel, they don't match. They can't match up.
Yeah.
I want to give kudos to Gareth Southgate, right? Because he played the final, right? He lost the final. He played the semi-final of the World Cup. So that was a very good record, right? But they need somebody that will cross them over the line.
It has nothing to do with Gareth Southgate, because he's not a good coach.
He's not coming back. So that's what I'm saying.
He's not a good coach himself.
So Thomas Tuchel fits that box that he can cross over the line.
Let me take you back to the question you asked. Why they're no longer taking coaches from England. Now, to get a certification as a coach in England, you're going to pay £12,200. That costs £2,000 in Spain to get same certification. That's why you have so much Spanish coaches. That's one. Two, the English players that actually have done this certification, like the likes of Rooney, Gerrard, Lampard, immediately they just finished. They didn't do any
Gary Neville. They didn't do their
no, they didn't do the thing
their internship.
The internship, there's called SPG. They didn't.
And they also refuse to coach smaller clubs. They just want to go to the top.
So now the thing is, they jumped to the top.
Yeah.
Now the current Spanish team or Spanish coach did different youth teams.
Yeah.
Had 6 months experience with a La Liga team, was sacked before he even got this job. So there's a level of experience you grow through, right, before you get there. Okay, but these guys just jump from here to there. I can bet anyone, no one can tell me the playing pattern that Frank Lampard does, Gerrard does, or Rooney, his playing pattern. Now,
terrible coaches. Gary Neville too. Gary Neville.
That was very good.
He didn't do well.
But you can pick any young child that's watching football that's a good and ask them how the Spanish team plays, how the Spanish coaches. They will tell you how they play their pattern because they have learned it over time. Yeah. So they don't give them English teams or English coaches don't give them time to grow. Eddie Howe is where he is today because he has went through a whole lot. Bournemouth, different teams even before he got to Newcastle.
Even Grant Potter too. He's outside of England. That's why he's a better coach. He can actually coach players.
So what I think is these English players or ex-players that complain, right? They are just being patriotic. That's what I feel. You know, the likes of Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, they are just patriotic. But deep down, they know that was a good call by the FA. Over to your question about the players that can they make it?
They have the quality.
They have the quality.
They do.
They have fantastic. Jude Bellingham is one of the top 3 in the world.
He can win Ballon d'Or.
Yes, he can with time.
I don't think so.
You can. Noni Madueke Kopama, they can win Ballon d'Or.
No, guys.
Remember Harry Kane?
You're still watching football. He's been there forever.
Last week. Blasphemy. You still said Madueke.
You're still watching Football Fans Canada, and of course, the guys will be discussing the Super Eagles, discuss England, and of course, now we're coming home. We want to talk about the EPL, the English Premier League. And of course, we start with Alpha Leo, Tottenham versus West Ham United. That is the early kickoff.
Yeah, early kickoff, 8:30 a.m. Canadian time, Atlantic time. But in this kind of game, it's going to be like, it's not going to be explosive, because of the break, international break, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, they're going to try. I checked their head-to-head. I realized that West Ham, they always give Tottenham a very tough fight. In fact, now when they beat each other,
it's a derby,
right? So it's going to be a tough call for Tottenham, right? And watch out for Brennan Johnson. He may score. I follow Fantasy Premier League and there are predictions already that he may score. And during the week, over the course of the international break, Angel Posteloglou was interviewed that he should actually think about being pragmatic. That's why is he always, keeping the eye line? He should try to be pragmatic. Once he score, just block results, pack the balls, and grind out the win. He said, no, that is not my style. And I understand the media, everybody in England, they're criticizing me, but I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because I believe in it. So
I respect it. I respect it.
I like it too.
That's a coach.
That would be an ongoing for him against West Ham because the likes of Kudus and all those Antonio, they will latch on that opportunity of that highlight and may score. So it's going to be tough, and my prediction is it's going to be like a 2-2 draw. 1-1 draw.
Okay, so Kaka, I come to you. Wolves versus Man City.
To be honest, I'll say it again to the camera. This is the greatest mismatch of the weekend.
But you remember that Wolves defeated Man City last season.
They defeated Man City last season 2-1.
2-1.
Now the same Man City they defeated is not the same Man City that has been threatened. Now Man City is like, when Man City right now feels like, when you escaped a trap.
Okay.
That's what Man City feels like right now. They have escaped twice on Arsenal. Like last season was this close. So they are feeling threatened right now. They feel like so they want to win every single thing on every single person on their path right now. They want to crush them out, right? Because they know someone is breathing behind you. When you know someone is breathing behind you, you're always on the move, right?
But they were not spectacular against Newcastle United.
No, they were not spectacular against Newcastle United, but they ground out the win. That is what champions do.
I think they played 1-1. I think it was 1-1.
See, I thought something.
Are you talking about Wolves?
No, Man City. Man City. Yeah, it was a draw against Newcastle. But I didn't say ground win. But they ground out the result. That's what I was about to say. So they at least did not lose the match. Newcastle pushed for a win, but they showed that the true tendency of being a champion. Right now, why I said it's a complete mismatch. Wolves has not won a single game this season. 7 losses. 7 games without a win. This is a similar thing that happened to them 2004, 2005. During the championship, the first time they've gone 7 games without a win. So it's a similar thing that's happening again. So you think Man City, knowing how much teams that are beating behind them, like Liverpool, Liverpool and Arsenal, the new informed Chelsea, right now,
Thank you.
They wouldn't want to take chances on it. Okay, and then this actually might be Gary O'Neill's last game because he hasn't shown anything. The only great spark in Wolves, like I said last week, is the Cunha, and I don't think maybe since he picked up the number 10 shirt, he has been exceptional. But all that being said, I think it's going to be a great straight.
Your prediction.
My prediction on this is going to be a 3-0 win for Man City.
And of course, Nathaniel, we're looking at Newcastle United taking on Brighton.
I'll give it a Newcastle win because Newcastle, they've been very good at home this season, even if they haven't played great away from home. They should win this game, but just because Brighton, they always play high line, and Newcastle, they capitalize on that. If you watch them against Man City, they could have won that game against Man City. They could have easily beat Man City, but against Brighton, and don't get me wrong, they've been playing good this season too. But against Newcastle, they haven't really, in the last couple of years, they haven't really. It has always been a tough game for them at Newcastle Stadium. So even Newcastle.
So your prediction?
2-1 Newcastle.
2-1. Kaka, I come back to you. I'm looking at Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace.
Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace. It's that 10 versus 18. Crystal Palace hasn't been exceptional. I have always been saying this season. The form they had last season has been was impeccable, but this season, towards the end of it, or to the beginning of it, it's not what we expected. So Nottingham, on the other hand, are not good at home, but they're very fantastic away. Right? So in fact, they've not won any game at home this season. So I'm actually thinking, because it might be an undoing if the coach does not win this game for Crystal Palace. So I think Crystal Palace can get an away win here. And I'll go Crystal Palace 1-0.
Against Nottingham Forest at home?
Yes. Because Nottingham has not been exceptional at home. Right? Most of the wins that come away, they have not won any game at home this season. So I think we'll be that way.
Okay, Alfalio, I'm back to you. Manchester United taking on Brentford.
Yeah, so lucky, Ten Hag, because I was thinking he would be fired during the international break, but that guy is so lucky.
We all did.
They fired Alex.
Yeah, exactly. But I think another report mentioned that Sir Alex already even said he's not interested in that ambassadorial position because it's taking a lot of time for him. So he had to just let go and bow out. So Man U, Brentford, I see a win for Man U. It's like Ten Hag is a cat of 9 lives. surviving and he wants to.
Brentford defeated Man U 4-0 last season.
I know.
Thank you.
4-0 last season.
Do you know why I said he's going to survive again?
Yeah.
I think I have this sense that those players also, they don't want him to be fired.
Nah.
I saw the video during this break. I saw the video of Rashford having individual training.
Doesn't matter.
So that's the commitment of players also that.
It doesn't matter.
So what's the structure in Man U?
There's no structure.
The owners, the Ineos owners are supporting this guy to succeed. And the players are also trying their best. So they need to figure out what it takes to win. And I think it's going to start from this Brentford.
So your prediction?
It's going to win 2-1.
Man U 2-1 Brentford.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, Fulham is home against Aston Villa. This is one match I would like to watch because
me too.
I tend to like Fulham. They play some good football.
I agree. Fulham have lost again this season at home. I picked them to win this game. For the international, because the thing about Aston Villa is they're like Tottenham sometimes, because the time you expect them to do something, they don't do it, and they beat Bayern Munich, they were expected to beat Manchester United, and they went to bed. They should have bet, against Manchester United. So it's like, and they haven't been great away from home too either. So it's like, I don't see them being Fulham because Fulham have been good this season at home. So I give it a 2-1 victory to Fulham at home.
Fulham 2-1 Aston Villa.
Yes.
Okay, Kaka. Because I don't want to talk more about these things because we don't have much time. So Kaka, let's go to Southampton versus Leicester City.
That's another coach that will be sacked, Martin Russell. I think if Russell loses the Southampton game against Leicester, it's going to be sacked. Last season,
they played some good football.
Yeah, they played some good football. And the thing is, they have very good position, but what do you do with the position, right? They don't have an end result. Cameron Archer.
To be honest, though, they just don't have the players. They don't have the quality. That's the only difference.
Yeah, Cameron Archer came on against Arsenal and he scored a good goal, but he gave us a tread. Actually, I was scared. But we're looking. Is it going to be something that's going to be consistent for them? Last season, if you look at their championship game, both of them, in fact, an aggregate of their scores was 9-1. Leicester's were in favor of Leicester, 9-1. And then if you look back to the year Leicester won the championship, the Premier League. They played at Southampton, and the match ended, guess what the scores was? 9-0. So,
last season?
No, this season Leicester won. Right? So they won at the sense there 9-0. So
that was the highest score.
So
for the season,
and this is you as a Saints fan right now. You're thinking, what is Leicester going to do to us this time? Because Leicester has been good as well this season. I think they're fighting to stay. I think out of the three teams that came up, Leicester looks more like the team that wants to stay. So
they've been here before. They've done before. They see how some of the players.
Yeah, and then the thing undoing of Southampton will be Jamie Vardy in behind, the runs in behind and everything. So I'm thinking that it's going to be a Leicester win away. It's going to be a 2-0 win for Leicester.
I agree. Southampton's defense.
Okay, Alfalio, we're looking at Ipswich versus Everton.
Yeah, I checked the history and last 4 games, Ipswich have won 3 times and they had a draw. And I will predict that Ipswich is going to win Everton. So the position they lost is 16 and 17. Everton is above them, but Ipswich is going to win because they are at home. I believe in that coach. That coach is really doing well, and Ipswich coach. So I want to give it 2-0 win. Ipswich.
Well, I deliberately gave you this one, Bournemouth versus Arsenal, because I know again that you will predict that Arsenal will lose. Bournemouth hosting Arsenal. See as Kaka they look at me.
And I want him to say what he wants to say.
Honest assessment, I saw when you gave it out, I knew what you were doing. Honestly, Arsenal should win the game, but
I so expected that. Go ahead.
But they haven't been great. They haven't been great attacking team this season, and Bournemouth they've been a very good team under their new coach this season. I'm leaning towards a win for Arsenal because of what they've been, the last 2 years, blowing teams out of the water. But it shouldn't be a big win for them. It should be probably 1-0, 2-1. Because they haven't been great defensively this season. They've conceded more goals.
They've not really had their best team.
That's what I'm saying. Arsenal defensively were better last year than this year. They conceded goals.
It is because in the last match part they had to play two. They had to put Jorginho defensively.
It doesn't have leg.
So there's always going to be the defense will be exposed somehow.
When you said last year, I'll take exception to that because Arsenal has exactly the same statistics they had from the beginning of last year for the first 7 games. Mm-hmm. And they have even played more difficult games this season. They had 17 goals. The goal difference is the same. They had 17 points, 7 goal difference, and it's still the same statistics they had for the first 7 games they had last season. So, and even more, they played better.
I think you should consider that too. They played better teams and they've not lost any match.
Most of them they've not lost away. Man City away, Aston Villa away, Tottenham away. So
I think Arteta has come up with, he has fashioned out a way to get his result. You might not play spectacular, but just get the result. That's what matters.
Saka, is he back from injury? Because I heard in this press conference there's a possibility he might come back.
Saka is never injured. Saka will always play in Nigeria.
No, he felt something. Like Likasi said, the results were showing that he had a muscle issue.
Yeah.
But it would have been so unfair to risk him to play. So that's why they send him home to rest. I'm sure he's going to be fit.
So he will probably play.
Because he was on bench.
He always limps. But all they got is a concern because he might be out to December now.
Oh, no. That was a false information.
That was a false information. The club had just come out to clarify that.
Okay, so who's going to win? Bournemouth, Arsenal.
He said 2-1.
No, give 2-1 to Arsenal.
He said 2-1.
So we're looking at the big match now. That is Liverpool versus Chelsea. You are a Chelsea fan. Chelsea is hot. Chelsea is beating everybody. Because if you look back, among the teams they played, the only big team they played was against Man City and they lost. Now they're playing another big team.
Yeah, so this will be an acid test for Enzo Maresca. And this is where the tough game starts.
Yeah.
We're going to still play Arsenal very soon, right?
November.
We'll play Newcastle. So I want to see a win, a shock win for Chelsea here.
You want to see or you expect?
I expect them to win.
And why?
The reason is this.
Let's go there.
This coach is a master tactician. I've been saying that. Jadon Sancho didn't go for international duty, right?
He didn't get called.
Tosin is going to replace Fofana. Tosin, he plays like Henrik Laporte, like John Stones, people that like Saliba.
Yeah,
so he has these 2 weeks to know how to play against this coach. So that's what I'm saying. I will see a shock win. Liverpool and Slot, apart from the Nottingham Forest loss, he actually figured out his mistakes, but it's a clash of 2 titans between the 2
new coaches,
right? But I believe Enzo Maresca is going to actually win.
I'm going to chime in. Liverpool will win this game. In as much as I've been behind Chelsea, in the last few weeks, since the Premier League started, I don't see anything Chelsea would do to beat Liverpool. Just because Liverpool structurally, they're very solid. They're very solid, and even if, in as much as they're trying to find their feet, under this new manager, look at the way you guys played Brighton. Liverpool kill you guys. Brighton just didn't have the quality to put you guys to sleep, in the first 20 minutes of the game before you guys, took the game away. So there's no evidence to show Chelsea will beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Okay.
So the good thing about this match, you see that it's an high-scoring game.
Let me
Not really.
Goals in this match.
No.
There will be goals.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
I see 4 goals.
Let me say.
And Chelsea's going to win.
Yeah,
You know why I
I'm
said
saying
that?
Liverpool haven't considered a lot of
This
goals.
coach
They haven't
knows
considered
how to
this match.
Liverpool
he
haven't
knows
considered a lot
how
of
to
goals.
evolve.
They haven't
Even
considered a lot of
within
goals.
that game, he knows how to change the formation against
Listen.
Liverpool.
You know, let me quickly say something here. This is a first against 4. All right. Let me draw some quick contrast to this here. Liverpool has the best defense. Chelsea is the second highest scoring team. Now Chelsea is
Context. Who have they
I'm
played?
coming.
Calm down.
Please, let me finish. All right. Chelsea are also good away. Out of the 16 goals they've scored, 10 of them are away.
To who?
No,
problem.
the point there is it doesn't really matter where
It matters. It matters. Who have they played away?
we are going somewhere. Chelsea has had time to try to grow. From the first match they played against Man City, you clearly can see a difference in that team right now.
No, of course. Well, you
Now,
could argue
Liverpool-
Man City just.
Liverpool, you're saying Liverpool we have been okay. You're saying to who? Liverpool we have been screaming about right now. Who have they played?
Manchester United.
Which top team?
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Where is Manchester United on the law?
No.
So are you talking about one
No.
that is top 4 from the second?
Well, you have to look at Liverpool. They haven't really since the dominant era. They haven't really dominated United at Old Trafford.
Anybody can beat this Manchester United.
Anyone can. But my point is, during club era, he didn't have how many wins did he have at Old Trafford? 1 or 2 in his 10 years in Liverpool. That's my point. And my point is, in as much as Manchester have been bad
I think you're digressing a little bit.
I'm not digressing. I'm just.
No, you're completely digressing because I'm letting you know that this Liverpool team, you were talking about context.
Yeah.
Liverpool
See, they play
on
big
paper.
teams. They have not played
Yeah,
big
they've not
teams.
played big teams as well. So right now, this is a
We are playing Arsenal next week, so you
Exactly.
that you can use to judge them.
They will play Chelsea on Sunday. So it's
Yeah.
both Chelsea game and Arsenal game. You used to judge them.
now. So
I will.
because-
And they will beat you guys on Sunday. I love Jadon Sancho though. But I don't see Chelsea beating Liverpool. It's simple.
well, I actually agree to that. Okay, I think I see a high scoring game. The game might actually end 3-2 in favor of Liverpool. However, but telling me that this Liverpool team or this Chelsea team has not been exceptional or scoring because you said they've been scoring against small teams.
teams.
That's what I will never agree to. Liverpool also has been defending. They have only conceded 2 goals against who? The only
Yeah,
team.
same context.
Same context you're talking about.
Kaka, you know where I want to support him in the fact that we're talking about defense. He was mentioning Adarabi Oyo, for God's sake. Is that the kind of player you want to
Diaz,
Salah?
No, Yota.
You have Baleshina, you have Adarabi,
Salah.
no.
Renato Viega is marking
But
Salah.
guys, see,
Listen,
I've always said that Chelsea.
they have a very Van Dijk,
I've always said that Chelsea have got a wonderful
five
attack, but you see, defense is your problem, and
Liverpool still
that
has
will be
Van Dijk,
exposed. That will be
Konate.
exposed on. Is it Sunday?
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah,
They still have.
Let me help you guys.
Konate.
Remember the first statement I said was that it's gonna be a shock win for Chelsea.
It won't
so
be.
we're gonna shock all you guys.
It won't be.
That's the essence.
It won't be.
It's gonna be a shock win.
It
It won't
pays me
be.
if you win. If
Don't
you
worry.
win, if you
It
win,
won't
it's
be.
good for Arsenal. So why not?
It
Go
won't
and
be.
shock me. Get the result. Guy. Well, you're still watching Football Fans Canada, and of course, we've been having fun on the show. Of course, you know that as part of this show, after the show, we sit down to enjoy ourselves, and of course, we have our dinner for today. It's a special one, lots of turkey in there, and the best jollof rice you can ever think of. And of course, we are going to the Spanish La Liga, and the big match in the La Liga this weekend is Barcelona versus Sevilla.
Barcelona, Sevilla. Barcelona, they've been great at home this season. I know they lost the game against Villarreal. Well, it was away. They lost that game. But they've been great, and I think they have the most goals scored already in La Liga. and the players are all fit besides Danny Olmo. I think Frankie de Jong is back to training, but he's not back to the team. Danny Olmo was a big loss for them, but every other, they don't have any fresh injuries. It should be an easy win for them at home. Sevilla hasn't been great since.
So Barca should win that one?
Since the loss of Emery, yes.
Kaka, Seth, have you got taken on Real Madrid?
I see Celta Vigo giving them an upset because Real Madrid right now is living in disarray. The injury to Carvajal, as well as the scandal to Mbappe right now, it's just looming around everywhere. Okay, so
dark cloud.
Dark cloud is looming around Real Madrid at the time. There's a couple of injuries. Yes, they've been back. And like Ancelotti, to be honest, I am really confused what that guy is turning into. Sometimes he decides to play 5 midfielders in a particular game, especially to smaller teams that you think you should be playing more attacking football, and then blowing them away. The fact that he always want to play Valverde in all the games, Valverde is very exceptional. It's so good, but sometimes you may need to really rest it. You have Carvajal, you have Tchouaméni, you have
Camavinga.
Camavinga, Tchouaméni, you have what's his name again? Adagula. You have Gula.
He doesn't play.
But he doesn't start. In fact, the son, Salati's son has been pushing. In fact, when he's mentioned that he wants Gula to start more of the games.
He's more creative.
More creative. Yes, he's very intelligent.
If Modric is not there, he's the most creative player.
Yes, he's not physical, but he creates something whenever he comes up.
Yeah.
So why don't you try to give him a shot and start him? So I think Celta Vigo is going to give him
I think he made a mistake going to Madrid. I'm talking about Amada Gola. With that kind of talent, you need to start from something small before you go to the top. I mean, going to Madrid was not.
No, I think it's a similar thing that happened to Odegaard.
Yeah.
So Odegaard also went there. They will need to send him on loan. He has to go on loan, play 1 or 2 seasons and come back.
But the difference is, Adegola is even playing. Odegaard didn't even play at all. That's the difference. Adegola is even trying to play.
Because Odegaard couldn't have played in that Madrid team. The Madrid team of Odegaard was a crazy team.
Ozil that, but they didn't want to change that trio. The Cruz,
Modric, Ozil.
Casemiro.
Younger Modric.
Yeah. So
those three was very exceptional at the time. So
and they had Bill, Benzema, and
But for this game, I think exception that Madrid is going to lose. They are not going to lose. The reason is because football, they say, is history. And the last 8 games in La Liga, they won all the 8 games. Yes, everybody won everything. So I was shocked when I checked, and
it's a match that produces goals. And of course, Celta Vigo has Aspas. We always score against Madrid.
What scenario is going to be a draw? I don't see Madrid losing.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, Serie A, we go to AS Roma versus Inter Milan. That is the big match in the Serie A this season. This weekend. Kaka, Roma, Inter.
Well, Roma with their new coach and Inter Milan with the upcoming form, right?
They're getting better.
Every weekend. And then Thuram just got a hat trick last time. So the partnership between Thuram and their captain
Martinez
has been great. I'm seeing them causing Roma another upset again. So I give it an Inter win.
Inter?
Yeah, I give it an Inter Milan.
Inter
is going to win. They're actually playing like champions right now.
Yeah.
They're firing on all cylinders. They have that confidence that they're going to actually win the league again. So I'll give it to Inter.
If you ask me, I think that the match to watch this weekend is Bayern Munich versus Stuttgart in the German Bundesliga. Now, perhaps you've not watched Stuttgart.
It's a game of chess.
They've got some fantastic strikers. And of course, those guys, when they come out, oh my God.
They play like
those strikers. I bet you those strikers are not going to stay in Stuttgart by the end of the summer.
Most of them will go.
Most of them will go.
Those guys will give Bayern the tough one.
The nephew.
Is it Mahmoud?
Yeah, Omar Mahmoud.
The coach is a nephew to the one of the directors of Bayern Munich.
Okay. The coach of Stuttgart.
Bonus, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
his uncle. His uncle is one of the heads.
You see, I love the wave, their wave of attack, the way they come out, they are so
Jeez.
fast.
It's like choreography. It's like the way they practice, the way they play.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. Like I've watched two of the games, man.
But
Manchester United.
That Mahmoud guy.
Yeah.
I was like, that boy should come to Arsenal.
The guy,
They call him the new Mohamed Salah.
a lot of agents are working the guy.
About 8 clubs are looking at him.
Yeah.
A lot of agents.
8 clubs.
Scouts.
man, and the guy is not playing as a point man. He operates. You know that he can't how Thierry Henry used to play back in the day
From the side.
Yeah.
Then we start sweeping them. Oh my God.
No, I mean, I think I watched his highlights and I was so in love with the guy already.
Okay, you saw me. I posted something like that.
No, before then, I've actually seen snippets of him on X.com. So it's trying to bring my attention to the guy. I'm like, okay,
Who's this guy? What's
happening here? And the fact that he does it with ease,
effortlessly.
Yeah, as in, he's so sneaky about it, and just like, no. It's actually not going to stay in Stuttgart. I'm sure. So
maybe if he scored like 2 goals against Bayern may actually buy him.
So Uma Mabush or Sesko, who will you take for us now?
Bush over Sesko.
No, but
that's a
very tough one. That's a different kind of player. But if I'm
have you seen Sesko this season?
If I'm at a gunshot, I don't need to pick one.
This season is
I'll pick a Mamouche.
He was
you know why I'll pick a Mamouche? Because I have a Sesko already in
Havertz, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I don't have a Mamouche.
Yeah.
If I must pick one, but being a greedy guy, I'll take the top.
Mamouche is the striker that moves from the midfield. I mean, it comes from 8 to 9 to 11 to 7 to. You don't know where he stays.
Yes.
But Sesko is that point man. He wants to be like Alan. You understand?
Yeah.
Sesko and Alan, they're almost the same thing.
No. There's a big difference. Sesko is good with his foot.
Yeah, he has good foot.
His
His attacking awareness is nowhere close to
exceptional. Then his ball striking is
it's nowhere close. You know.
No. Haaland is a good finisher.
Yeah,
Let's take it away.
Attacking awareness.
But his shooting, Sesko's shooting is
much better.
Way better.
Yeah.
And he shoots both foot.
Both foot, yes. Alan uses his left leg.
The most. Do you understand? So Sesko, you don't even know which of the foot he's going to use. And then his leap when he leaps. Oh my God.
He's tall.
He's tall. And not just it has a way, what do you call it? Jump ability.
Crazy vertical.
No, he goes really high.
Well, you're watching Football Fans Canada, and of course, like I said, we've got so much to eat after the show, and so it's time for us to call it quit on the show today. We want you to subscribe. We also want you to press the notification button. Of course, also help us to share this. We want you guys to always be part of our day. Every weekend, we'll be back to discuss football, and of course, very soon we'll be adding something new. We'll call it the Football Fans Banter. That one is going to be a special one. We'll sit down here, we'll use pidgin English, and we'll banter, we'll knock ourselves on this show. It's going to be fun. That is another special addition to this show. And of course, along the line, we'll also start talking to 1 or 2 Nigerian players outside in Europe, in England. You might see Awoni come live on the show. You might see Victor Osimhen come live on the show. Those are things we are working on to get the show even bigger and better. Thank you so much for watching the show. Afanu, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Kaka, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure.
Anati, always a pleasure having you on the show.
I will finish it the day we start. I'll finish my.
If there's anything where I feel put my neck on, Brentford will beat Man U this week.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That one is a settled game.
Brentford beat Man U.
Brentford beat Man U, man lost.
Yeah, Brentford beat Man U.